Yesterday morning, I was ordering orange juice from the orange juice store, and someone rudely stepped on my fluffy slippers and asked me a question and said, "Excuse me, sir, why do you have such strong morning wood?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to tell you why, if you let me explain. You see, OkeX sold the bottom." Did you know that, friends? That's why I got morning wood. That's right. OkeX exchange delisted HEX at the literal Pico bottom. You think I'm making this up, friends? I'm not making anything up. I'm going to show you right now. Look at it right here. See that little square? That's what's up, friends. That's what's up. Let's just dig in. See that little square? There you go. OkeX delists PulseChain right there. I called it. Delistings are bullish. It didn't feel bullish at the time, by the way. It felt like it was all over. But hey, you know, for that, we're going to play some pump music. I told you. The Pico bottom. But it gets a bit more outrageous than that. Okay, sure enough, they delisted PulseChain. So they added Pulse in there. It was easy to send people for onboarding, and then they basically rugged us. But look what happens next. What happens next is Pulse goes on to pump 344%. And this is what it looks like on the chart. You see this top right arrow? But you know what? This is like, you're just going to learn, friends. The crowd's always wrong. Exchanges get it wrong too. See, a lot of you say, "Oh, I want the exchanges to list us." No, you don't. You think you want them to list you because you think you need their approval. You don't need their approval. All you need is my friendship. Okay, friends? Because I'm telling you right now, my morning wood could have poked an eye out in everyone. But it's a family-friendly show. So I'm going to continue with the dark side of the story. The clouds come over. Why? Because OkeX, after they delist PulseChain in the lows, what do? They added support for the Bitcoin JPEGs and other trash inscriptions at their high. So the Bitcoin Ordinals. Isn't that crazy? Wait a minute. Right at the time, literally, Vince, you could not buy at a cheaper price. You got 20% cheaper than Rectum Rochelle, who is now a friend of the channel. Okay? You got cheaper than anyone else. That was the opportunity there, and you guys decided to delist it. Crazy. Delistings are bullish, aren't they? They were the only exchange, by the way. It was like a T1 exchange, and then gone. So they add support for Bitcoin JPEGs. I can't believe it, friends. There's also things, I know a lot of people don't know, there's Ordinals. So Bitcoin have the JPEG. So they call things called inscribing. They do some little weird code thing. It's basically a bug left over in Bitcoin, and you can basically what it lets you do is it lets you track a Bitcoin Satoshi around the network. And they go, hey, if I can track this Satoshi, then I can give it kind of name and you can call it something. Okay, because it doesn't mean it's like it's fungible anymore, really. It means you can move it around, but it's meant to be like transferable. But now they can give it an attribute. They go, hey, you are not just a little Bitcoin. Now you've got like sprinkles on you. You're a little sprinkle Bitcoin, and you're going to give you a name like an NFT. What happened? Well, Chinese grandmas and grandpas, yes, not making this up, they were running schools on how to buy and inscribe these ordinals, and they just went and bought the top. People just FOMO bought in after, because isn't that crazy? You make something for free, but then the price goes up high enough, they buy it anyway. This is literally happening in crypto over and over again. I mean, Bitcoin started off free, happened again, happened with HEX, happened with everything else. People put in millions of dollars of HEX at the top, started off free. It is what it is, friends. Just perception of value. My friend Johnny Chaos always speaks about that. It's true, man. It's true. If we start repricing things higher, everyone says, oh, they're valuable now. If we make things cheaper, it's trash. Okay, this is why you have to invert it if you want to make it in the gaming markets. Well, you also got to invert the crowd, right? OkeX representative of the crowd, okay? Now, I'm not here to really just pick on OkeX, but it's just funny to see. Literally, friends, you couldn't pick a better time to freaking buy, could you? Look at this. A freaking better time right here. By the way, this is Pikachu, my face on it. Shout out to J Plush, doing some firecracker memes. Now, isn't that nuts? Okay, so you let everybody sell. That's what happens. I was getting messages. You can go back and check the comments. I know the Baby Doll cult members, everyone, you guys weren't selling, but I know there's a couple of people out there. I know, man, a lot of people, they sold the bottom because they believed this delisting. They thought it was a representation that the corrupt SEC was ultimately going to take down Richard Hart, and that he's on the run and he's never going to fight, and we've lost and it's all over. And this is a representation that we had something going and it was over. So they sold, literally let go of the bags. But then they let you get support for freaking JPEGs, friends, JPEGs, you know? I want you to please just remove the tickers and the logos. So HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, put it aside. It's crypto asset A. And then Bitcoin ordinals and NFTs and stuff, put that aside. It's crypto asset B, okay? Asset A dropped 90%, literally 90% from 3x above day one sec down to like 300, about 90%. And they, at the 90% mark, the cheap mark, they go, you know what? Delisting. No one can buy anymore. Everybody get out. No more support. And then crypto asset B goes to the freaking moon and they go, oh my gosh, this thing is really valuable. We have to support it. You couldn't pick a worse time to do that. Crazy, right? It's like buy the delistings, sell the listings. Do you get it now? You don't need these exchanges. These exchanges aren't our friends. They're not our friends. You know what is your friend though? That's all we have, friends. These, keeping your feet nice and warm. These are the Highland Bulls. How cute they are, by the way. All right. Look, OkeX, I'm just telling him out publicly, right? Hire a dude to sit in his underwear, right? I always see these pictures of Chinese dudes in internet cafes playing like StarCraft and stuff, okay? They have like they're smoking cigarettes. They got an ashtray there. They're shirtless. It's a sweaty, dusty room. And there's a fan blowing on them, all right? Hire a dude to do that and just watch my videos. And also get a hat expert, all right? 2. So you just got to hire 2 dudes. Won't cost you anything, like $8 a day. That's all you need, because that is making way better of a decision than what you guys are making in the past. Let's continue. Also, I want to thank them, especially. Thanks for the free DCA bullets. I mean, it was really hard, Fred. Like, I know I'm acting confident now. I mean, I was like, oh, I want to kick in the nuts. Oh, we had one listing, and then they took it away from us. That's exactly how we felt. And you see, you got to remove the emotion in the voice, friends. You see, if you go back to my tweets, because I don't have any voice, if you just go back to the tweets. Now, in the videos, I was like, oh, man, this hurts. That's in the videos I was saying that. But I was saying, but you got to buy. I mean, it's cheap. If you liked it at 3x above day one sack, you should really like it at minus 70% below day one sack, 90% cheaper. And same as PulseX, down 90% and everything, and HEX as well. HEX is below 1 penny. Okay. Eric Wall, some say he's the snake of Hexico, one of the snakes in Hexico. He's more like a serpent, friends. He's not like a little snake. He basically tells everybody, do not trust me. I am a snake. Woo, I'm Eric. So he's not like one of the weave ones in the background. He's like a big serpent boss. Like you know his HP, you know he's weak to fire, you know he's got a small willy, all these things. Okay, so all right. When it comes to these, Eric gave himself the trophy and the official coffee emoji to HEX as soon as it hit below 1 cent. Why? Because Eric's 2023 predictions, one of them was the corrupt SEC takes a case against HEX and HEX drops below 1 penny. Okay, and you could not have picked a better time to buy. You know that 1 cent poke was literally the bottom price for HEX, the combined price, right? 1 cent. So that's right. That was free DCA bullets. Like I said to you, you're listening to my voice and I'm like, oh no, it hurts. But if you read the posts, because you can't see emotion, I was saying these are cheap prices. That's it. It's undervalued. Like it's really low. It shouldn't even be down here. Okay, so that's why if you remove the emotions, man, you can make better investment decisions. But easier said than done, isn't it? That's why if you just tie your hands around your back, okay, and you just don't click sell, you make it. Everyone knows this. Everyone listen. Friends, have you ever heard of anybody who says, I want to sell the bottom and I want to buy the top? No one. No one says that. And everybody says, I'm going to ignore everyone else and make my own decision. I'm a happy little camper. Everybody says that, right? What do they actually do, though? Now, this is where it takes a funny turn because we have Ian and Mr. B Roots, friends. I'll be honest, this got me laughing real good. They have FOMO-Buying Investors. This is a freaking genius idea. So what they do is We got to use it, friends. We got to start using this. This is a genius idea. What they do is they find fudders of their coins, and then they try to like see later on as the coin goes up if they buy. You know what I mean? And it's funny to see that. Now, technically, I guess if you sent the crew on me for pDAI and a Tropa and Teddy Bear for all these, technically I'm like that, but not really, friends. Just because you're gonna learn this about me. When things are super expensive, I don't talk about them. And baby dolls, as I am recording live, my Sherlock Sommi detective kit has actually arrived. Okay, now very relevant because the FOMO buying investigators are going to need somebody, a detective, a real detective, to actually track down these people buying. So it really made me laugh. When I first heard the idea, I'm like, nah, never gonna work. Just because I thought, no way these people, after fudding something, would actually go out and then go buy the coins they were fudding about. But I knew from my experience it happens. It's just that I never thought we would catch some stories. And again, puff, puff. We actually did find them, friends. We did find them. That's actually amazing to see. You know, when you're looking at these, look, maybe I'm part of that crew. But look, you can't call it FUD, friends. If something goes expensive, it's out of the zone. That's it. You can't do anything. I'll just give you an example. All right. If you trade as a trader, you only buy, let's say, a bullish divergence when the RSI is below 20, for example. Okay. And it's like on a daily chart. And then the RSI is like at 55. Now, yeah, the RSI can get to like 80. It can still keep going higher, but I'm not buying it. That's it. It's outside of my strategy. So that's just these type of consistent principles. That's what keeps you in the game. It's just that when there's the one unicorn winner, everyone comes out and they go, wow, this is it. But shout out to my friends who I was speaking to about this, because we went through this example. For example, with pDAI, otherwise known as pDAI, okay? With pDAI, let's throw this out. If you were going to put in, most people, they throw in a lottery ticket, maybe it's $100 for someone. $100. Now, because they're just like, this probably not work, whatever. But then pDAI goes 100x. Okay, so it goes from $100, it does 100x. This was like in its earlier run. So now your $100 is 10,000. But then it dropped 94% down. So your $100, 10 grand. Now you're back down to like $600 at the low. Then it goes back up. Now it's only down 90%. So you're back to $1,000. Here's another thing. Here's another way to think about it. Instead of having FOMO to miss everything, if I know that point is coming, which is exactly what happened, friends. I know that point is coming. So what I did is I waited for it to go down on the weekly chart. And that's why I'm going to show you these examples, okay? I'll show you the charts. I waited for them to come down. And when they come down, instead of throwing in, like for me personally, just like a little lottery ticket, maybe in that $100 case, you can go, oh, wow, this thing proved itself. It proved itself. It did a big move. And now on its way back down, I'm looking for that rounded bottom zone for actually us to participate. So this is exactly what happened, friends. This is exactly this pDAI going up. You can actually see right here, right? So this is where, look, from here and it goes up here. Look at that. That's exactly 135x. Your $100 becomes like, 13,000. And then when it comes back down, you drop 90% and it's around here. So in a nutshell, what you're doing is, by the way, a lot of people, friends, I know a lot of people think, oh, wow, this thing's expensive. No. You change it to the pulse pricing. It hasn't even moved yet. Like, this thing can still go. And by the way, why does it have to stop here? If pulse goes higher, this will give you more leverage on it. It can go like another 5 to 10x on pulse. So in a nutshell, what I've just helped you to do is exactly what I did for HEX. Like, you throw lottery tickets around. But sometimes there are lottery tickets, friends, that you miss. You're just like, maybe you don't believe in it or see it. But that's okay, because there's so many of them. They're so chaotic and random. But when something goes really far and they make a lot of noise, the people who win are people who let the cycle move play out, come back down into the buy zone. That's why I hope you use the weekly super trend. And then when it finally flips green again, you can get in. So that is who ends up winning. Because if you just, let's say you ignore something, but then it becomes so big you can't ignore it anymore. If you go and act, you're a top buyer. You're a top buyer. That's it. That's essentially what happens. Now, chances are, though, you still end up making money because you're buying something that moved a lot. And like, you got to be careful though. A lot of these things are just one cycle, one type of pump, one move, one wave things. It's just that pDAI is obviously a unique case. The PulseChain community is very, very popular, but not everything is going to be applicable to this strategy I'm talking to you about. Like all these other meme coins and everything else going on. For example, if you bought the top of Bonk, right? Maybe you're saved in that. But what about these other trashy meme coins, you know, on Solana and stuff where everybody just rugs, you know? So now you get to see. You don't have to, don't let yourself get this FOMO. Of course, like you say, oh, I wish I put, but no. You have to think a cold assassin, a killer, friends, okay? You have to think, I'm a detective now. I find these people. You got to find these. Okay, there's a lot of people making a lot of noise. And so you just have to have patience in terms of let the cycle thing play out, because you know the formula, man. Every freaking coin drops 90%. Every coin drops 90%. They all do. Sometimes they stop at 80 and then reverse up. It's okay. Okay, so you get to see now, this is how I figured out what can I do. So if you miss a lottery ticket that you regret, you let its cycle play out and then you can get back in. Now, obviously you can't do this forever, but why do I have confidence you can do this now? It's because Bitcoin has not broken 69K. All right, your friend Sherlock Sommi here. Bitcoin has not broken 69K, friends. If Bitcoin was 70,000 or above, we are in the euphoria late stage part, and you're not guaranteed that there's going to be another wave to overtake it. A lot of the valuations are still cheap right now, okay? Don't forget it loves you, friends. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.